Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about how do we design a Oracle VBCS application. So let's get into agenda. We'll try to understand the structure of a VBCS application and the application flow and what are the different stages of the application when we design an application. So let's understand the basic structure of a VBCS application. So whenever you're working in a VBCS application, so like these set of basic things you may come across. The first thing which we generally start with is like we'll be creating a VBCS application. Inside the VBCS application, you'll be creating a mobile application or a web application, and there you'll be creating a service connection or a business connection, and then you'll be designing. Then you need to do set of configuration settings for the purpose of like securing your application. Then you'll be sending the application for the testing, like that is where you stage it and then you test it. And after that, once everything is okay, what you can do is you'll be uploading the real data which is required for your business object, and then you'll be publishing the application. So these are the high level steps involved in designing a VBCS application, and these are the set of structures which are which need to be considered when you design a VBCS application. Okay, so now coming next slide. And once you design a web application, right, so what all it may have. So like in the VBCS application, you'll have a web or mobile application. Inside the web or mobile application, so like let's start with this one. Like let me create the VBCS application, then we may have a clarity here. Like 1 minute. Yeah, so I'll just navigate to my server. Now here, if you observe, I'll just navigate to the landing page of the VBCS application. So here, this is the landing page of your VBCS service. And now the set of application which is shown here, we call them as visual application. So then the terminology of application is quite confusing, but like we have to adjust with that. We'll try to understand the like a nomenclature once we practically understand them. So the set of things which you see here, these are called visual application. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just click on new. So okay, so I'll just say second app. Now I'm mentioning my visual application name. Okay, I'm mentioning my visual application name, and now select the template. I have a large number of templates which are supported in my version. I'll select the template and click on finish. By default, it will generate the set of pages or nothing, but it will generate the application based on the template which I've selected. Now I have selected the application template as SaaS R12. So now what happens is the visual application, when I create visual application, it will also create a web application with a set of pages by default. I'll just run the page without writing any single line of code, and you can observe there are 3 pages will be available in this one. Okay, so home, flow 1, flow 2, and flow 3. Home, flow 2, flow 3. So these are a set of 3 pages which are generated by default because I have selected a template. Now, what was our visual application name? Our visual application name was second app. In the visual application second app, I have a web application. So this is my web application. I can have n number of web application here. If you observe, right, I can create n number of web application inside this one. Let us say, I'll say web application 2. Okay. Just click on create. Now, can you see it got a second application, web application got created here. Now this is our first application which was generated by default. Okay, now if you observe carefully, web application, what does web application has? It has just 3 folders here. If you observe, flows, resources, and root pages. And resource, and just observe the flows. So flows will have, flows is a flows will have a number of flows inside it. Resources will have set of components which are used in your page, and root page is a root page which will have a shell which has information about your header and footer. Now coming back, what we're talking about, it will have a flows, pages, resources, root pages, and also what do you call designer. Generally, whenever you work with any application development or writing a technical code, right, it can be a C language or a PL SQL or a Java, you always require an editor to write the program. Similarly, for VBCS application, the editor, whatever the browser based editor which we use it, we call it as designer. This is called designer, and this designer is having a specific editor for each particular functionality. Nothing but now here, if you observe, this is called page designer editor, And now this is your action editor. This is your event listener editor, events editor, or I can say just simply say this is just a designer which has editors for each set of components, and it will behave based on the context which you select. Now let us, if I select web application, I may have a different set of editor when I open web application. If I click on flow, I may have a different set of editor when I click on flow. Okay, this is a context sensitive editor which works based on the component which you have selected. Okay, now coming to the other thing. Yeah, so before proceeding publishing, so as of now, what we have done is we just created a web application, and we have not designed anything on our own. Like we have not written any single line of code. We just considered template, it deployed. I mean, like it provided 3 pages by default, right? Now here, if you observe, what even by shell page? So for all, like what are the 3 pages we have, right? Home, flow 1, flow 2, flow 3. So these are the 3 pages which you're observing here. And now the shell is the one which will have the information about your header and footer. In the header, it shows my application, footer it shows about, and here it shows the username, right? You can observe those things here. I'll just click on shell, click on page designer, and now just observe here on the my application. I'll just say second VBCS application. Okay, and also in the footer, I'll say, I'll just write footer. Sorry, spelling mistake. Footer. They just run the page and just observe the difference. Okay, it got changed here, it got changed here. Just observe what will happen when I click on second page. Will it be available or not? Can you see this particular header and footer portion will never get changed. What is getting changed is only the white color portion in the middle. So this is where the page, what are the nothing but a flow, or assume it's a page. So what are the pages which you have done that will get embedded in this particular white color portion? That's how VBCS application is designed. Okay, now let us say if you want to change some content in flow 2 page, what we have to do, you have to go to the flow 2 page, and here in this one, just click on flow to start. Okay, this is a flow to starting page. And now can you see, I'll just say in this header, I'll just change it updated. Okay, and you can change the font also if at all. Yeah, this high font, right? Let us say I'll add up one component. So now here, if you observe, these are the list of components which are available in the VBCS, and the structure shows the hierarchy of the components which are available in your particular page. See, this is the second page which I clicked on. The flow to start is the second page. Now let us say if you want to add up any component in this particular page, what you can do is just click on component, and now let us say I just want to add up a text component. I'll just drag and drop like this. Okay, now just run it, and you should see the component now in the flow to page. Okay, this is a text. We were able to see the second page. Okay, now one other thing I want to tell you is, like whenever you work with VBCS application, generally in any design, any of the application development, always you'll have a developer, your particular QA team which will validate your application, and then the end team, the business team which uses your application, right? So during the design time of your application, what we do, we always just preview. You just write the code and preview it, right? You'll never share that. I mean, like unless as a developer you satisfy with your code, you'll never share the application for testing. Now, whenever you run the page, right? Whenever you run the page, if you clearly observe, carefully observe, I mean to say, let us see this again. Okay, can you see here in this particular URL, you would see a keyword called preview. You would see a keyword called preview. It means that this application, it is providing a preview of your web application so that the developer will validate, nothing but performs a unit testing. And if everything is okay, then he will send it for testing. And now what will happen is you will not send this particular preview thing to your particular functional team, because they cannot access that. This preview is nothing but like it is just a execution of your program. So once your particular program is closed, let us say like unless your VBCS application is open, this will be available. Once you log out of your VBCS, this will not be available. But for the functional user, you have to provide a real URL so that he can validate he can validate whenever he want, right? He doesn't need to log in, or he doesn't need your application to be logged in, right? Nothing but let us see, he doesn't need to open your particular developer login, isn't it? Now for that purpose, what VBC has provided is, like, there are three things: preview, stage, and publish. A stage application is nothing but like you are providing a intermediate URL for the functional team to validate. Okay, once, let us see that first of all. Okay, I'll just click on stage. Okay, for this one you have an option called stage. Just click on stage, that's it. Okay, and just wait for some time and click on stage. Your application in development will be deployed to stage. Now it is deployed to a stage environment. Nothing but what will happen is, this particular code will get compiled and it will be provided a bundle in the staging environment, and it will generate a URL for you. And also one more important thing is, the version for which you have generated the staging environment, what will happen is this particular 1.0 version will be freezed. You cannot change anything here now. But let us, if you want to still modify, what you have to do, let's go back to your all applications now. And now for the second application, just observe carefully. Like here on the stage, just click on the stage environment. Okay, can you see? It is asking what is the URL you want to share with your particular functional team. I want to share my web application. I'll just click on this one. Okay, just copy this one and just observe the URL which was generated here. The little bit different here you observe is, like here you have RT, the staging environment, and then you have the URL. Okay, this URL and this URL is totally different. Now once your functional team validates your particular application, the next thing what you have to do is you have to publish your application, so that you have to publish your application, and so the business user can validate your particular application. I'll just click on this one and click on publish. Okay, now it is live. Just click on this URL. Okay, and can you see? You'll find a little bit difference again. Instead of 1.0, you have live. And now let us say, assume that you got a code bug. Assume that you got a bug in your particular live application. What do you do? Now, whenever you publish your application to the staging environment or your particular publishing, your particular code will be freeze. Nothing but it will become read only. But how do you edit it? So to edit it, what you have to do is you have to create a new version. Okay, click on this one and click on new version. You can follow appropriate naming convention. Either you can follow 1.1 or 1.2, or maybe your recommended, like Oracle recommended also you can follow. Now I'll just click on 1.1 and I'll just click on create. Now what will happen is, it will copy the existing version. I mean, it will copy the existing code and it will create a version now. So 1.0 is freeze. You cannot do anything there. But you have to work on 1.1. If everything is okay, you publish that, and again you can share the URL to the respective teams. Okay, so that's how this particular thing will work. Okay, can you see now it shows dev 1.1. Now we are in the 1.1 version, and it is in the development version. Okay, so this is all about this set of three things: preview, stage, and publish. Okay, now coming to the next thing. So to design a pages, just now we discussed, right? We have like how to design a pages. So these are all high level functionality only, but later on we'll be getting a deep dive in each particular component. Now next thing is the root page. So root page is nothing but it's kind of a shell in which you'll be embedding the pages, and you'll have a if you want to edit anything in your shell page, what you can do is just click on root page and click on shell, and it shows what is the starting page you want to click on. Nothing but, let us say, whenever we open the page, by default the starting page, this particular home was getting clicked on, right? Let us say if you want to invoke, if you want to change that behavior, you just need to click on shell, and you can click on settings, and you can see the flow, right? This is a flow which is getting clicked on. Now let us say I want to invoke the second page. By default, what I have to do, I just need to click on default flow as flow 2, and the second page will get invoked automatically every time. You can observe that. Okay, in the shell generally you'll have this set of settings like a header, footer, and like a default flow, and some more other properties, but we'll discuss them later. Now coming to the final thing, like a business object. So what is a business object? We'll not discuss much deep now, but high level. So the business object is nothing but a table, right, which will store the data. What does a table contain? Table contain a set of columns. Each column will contain data, and table also contain records. Each record will contain a set of columns. Set of columns, like each column will have a value, right? So why do we use table? To store the data, right? Similarly, the business object is exactly a representation of a table in the VBCS. You cannot access table directly in the VBCS. The only way you can access any of the data source in the VBCS is through the business object or through the service object. So business object directly cannot be linked to any of the table, but business object, what happens is, if at all, if you want to store some data in the VBC, if at all, if you want to store some data using VBCS application, you have to create business object. Now we'll try to create a simple business object. Go to business object now and just click on business object, and now I'll mention employee, click on create. So what does a table contain? This is nothing but a table, right? A table contains a set of fields. Just simply create a field. So it provides lot number of properties. I'll just say EMP number, and data type is number. I'll select number, create. And now next one, select EMP name, varchar. These are different set of data types, created. That's it. Now business object is created. And if you want to, if at all, if you want to populate some initial data with this one, just click on data, and I'll just click on row, and I'll say employee name as Sriram 100. That's it. Now go to web application. Let us say I want to design a table region in my third page. I'll click on flow 2, flow 3, flow 3 start. And in the components, you select table. So component is nothing but list of components which are available in the VBCS application, not specific to your page. If at all, if you want to find out what is available in your page, you have to click on structure. In my structure, if you see, I just have only 2 components, grid row as well as heading. But if at all, if I want to consider the things, the set of components which are available in VBCS application, you have to click on component and select whichever one, whichever component which you want, and just simply drag and drop. I dragged and dropped the table region into the page. And now you have an option called quick start. Like for each particular component, whenever you select any component, it will have the appropriate component inspector. Okay. And here you can select the property inspector. Sorry, you'll have property inspector. Click on quick start, click on add data. Now in the add data, you need to select from where I want to select the data. I want to select the data from the employee object. I'll select this one, click on next, and I'll select all the columns. And next, finish. That's it. Okay, just run the page. Okay, click on flow 3. You should be able to see a single record. Similarly, if at all, if you want to create, if you want to have a create page, update page, all those things, those will be generated automatically for your business object. It doesn't need to design anything technical. I mean, it doesn't need to write any logic extra to design a page separately. Just click on add create page, select the business object, click on next, select the fields. Okay, finish. That's it. Similarly, edit page, detail page, delete page, everything can be done. Okay, just click on run. You should be able to see the create button now. Okay, click on create employee. I'll say employee name is Krishna. Now employee number is 400. Click on save. It got saved, and you can see the ID number got generated automatically, and the created by all the who columns are generated by default. What I provided is just 2 fields, right? And it automatically provided like a create page, search page, and also if at all, if you want to work on the edit and delete, and also those all things can be done automatically by using this set of buttons. You can just select them, select the business object, and it will work on. Okay, and you can just check out your business object. It will have some set of default properties which will be generated. Like if you see security, we'll discuss later, but endpoints. So these endpoints will be generated automatically whenever you create a business object. Can you see? It will generate get, post, get, patch, and delete. Get is for the purpose of getting the data, patch is for the purpose of updating, delete is for the purpose of deleting the data. Okay, so this is all about high level application structure in VBCS. In coming session, we'll be discussing some more functionalities of the VBCS. Thank you.